my 3D printed gearbox. It's actually called a planetary gearbox, and you turn that shaft and that turns at a reduced speed. Haven't calculated what the speed reduction is yet, but it's not completely finished. I have to make a thicker one of these, either thicker, or I'm going to make another one of these that has ball bearings inside it, so when it goes on it rolls against the outside plate. I think that's what I'm going to do, just for the challenge of it. And inside this unit is not so easy to take apart. It's not put together yet. See if I can take it apart. I'll balance the phone just so that you can get a full view of the workings of it. And here we go. So with the cover off, you have 3 main gears, planetary gears. Reason why? Because planets orbit around the sun, and on the other end of this shaft, this blue shaft, there's 1 gear in there which turns these 3, and by it turning them 3, this is bolted through and this shaft is reduced. So I think it's possibly a quarter. I really don't know. And I've done plastic bearings, but I have got metal ones to swap into it. This is a work in progress, and the 2 shafts I've increased the strength by putting steel bolt through. That doesn't have a nut on the other side, and I want it to, but that will mean having to think about the design, because as I say, on the end of that shaft inside there's a gear, so quite possibly it's going to go all the way through past the gear and then a nut on the end, which is exactly what happens on this. That's one of these going through and a nut on the inside. Behind there is a nut for strength, really. And if I wanted to try and use this, I would make it so it had 2.5 mil hole in the teeth, and then I would push in hot wire that was 3 mil, and then the teeth would be a lot stronger. But I think that the teeth are strong anyway, I really do, but you never know. What I would do is I would fill this box up. I put a valve on it, and I put a oil seal on the back and a circlip on the back, so that this shaft doesn't push forwards. But I don't think it's going to, after I do a little modification of putting a bearing in front of. So imagine that shaft going in, then you've got a gear, and then in front of that gear a bearing. That's what I plan to do. It's as you see, the shaft just drops in, doesn't it? And I show you, these are the gears. So there's 3 of these, and then the gear in the middle. I don't think I've got one. No, I haven't. That's a shame. Anyway, and these are the kind of bolts that I'm pushing through them. As soon as I know that it's right, then I print it with a hole in it and put a bolt through and do it up. Much stronger. And so that's the main shaft on the front in pink. But it's a modified one because that there is part of this. All printed as one thing. Whereas before I had it that pushed in to a faceplate. And the faceplate, I'm not sure if I've got the faceplate to hand or not. No, don't think so. It's made on that X1, on those two X1 carbons. Really good. Accuracy is crazy. And the main gear, which is this, that originally was to go in here. If you imagine that down and none of this external frame, alright, it was just that underneath the black, and you need that because that is called the orbit gear. And basically how it works, you've got the planets and then that one will go in, and they all mesh, and you've got three that go in. I can't get those two to link by one hand. Can I do it with one hand? No, I can't. Anyway, so you've got three, and you've got a little cog that meshes with, when you imagine a third one of these here, you've got a little cog that links to all of these, turning them. Similar business going on in there and in there, but at the end of the day that's it. And filled up with oil, I want to see that being used in a design that I've got, which is going to be lifting solar panels. So solar panels on the roof of this. I'm in the back of a lorry, mobile workshop, and one of these, 4 solar panels with 4 of these, 4 motors, and that'll operate a like a scissor lift, which makes the solar panels go up and down. And as it's only going to be going quite slow, I don't think it's going to be a problem, but I'll still seal the box and fill it up with oil. And then I think at under 100 RPM, which is what it'll definitely be, I would think that it would last quite some time.